Misstated financial performance. 11% of the CEO survey thought that it's justifiable. And interestingly, 7% of the CFOs and senior finance executives agree. Now, that is surprising to me. So now, how about offering cash or other payments to win business? Look at the last two bars on the chart here. 36% of the people surveyed thought that it's justifiable. And if you look at just the participants in the C-suites, the numbers are even higher, 41%. Okay, so let's look on the other side. So what are the circumstances when executives are being asked or being approached to engage in potential misconduct? So they were asking 3 questions. Have you ever been asked to pay a bribe in a business situation? 21% of the CEOs said yes. Now remember, this is across 60 countries. I don't know about you, I thought that was surprising to me. How about predating or post-dating a contract? Percentage even higher, 28% of the CEO says yes. And finally, how about making a charitable contribution at the request of the customer? Here, almost 40% of the CEOs have been approached. So, 2 key takeaways from the data here. One, I think there's a fair number of senior people who are willing to do whatever it takes in tough times, even if it includes misstating financial performance, even if it includes making payments to win business. At the same time, there's plenty of opportunity to do that because executives are being requested to do exactly this type of thing. Now, let me move on to the next study. This study was conducted by the OECD, which stands for Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. They published a study last year about corruption. So what they did was they analyzed corruption cases over the last 15 years in 17 countries. Now the data is very interesting. Why? Because it sheds light in an area that, frankly, is not very transparent, right? As you can imagine, the business of corruption usually is, by its definition, secretive. So let's see what the data shows us. So who are the people paying bribes? In 41% of the cases, management personnel were involved in either making the payment or authorizing the payment. And in another 12% of the cases, even the CEO or the president was involved. So the point that I want to leave you with here is sometimes we think that, rogue employees get involved in this sort of activity. I don't think the data shows that. And what industries is this involved in? As you can see, all industries. And our own industry is a part of it. You see we're number 4 on the list. So who are the people on the receiving end of these transactions? 80% of the bribery dollars went to officials at state-owned enterprises. So how much do bribes cost? Interestingly, it actually varies by industry. On average, it's close to 11% of the transaction value, and it eats up more than 1/3 of the profit for the deals. Now, of course, sanctions very often way exceed whatever the transaction value is, not to mention the hit on the brand of the company. Now, why do people do that? It's very easy, and this one is not surprising. The number 1 reason is to basically